So, I made a short film. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then go watch that first. I think I learned a lot as a filmmaker, just because I haven't made any films before this one that were my own thoughts and creative project entirely. And obviously going into that means that there's going to be a lot of almost trial and error, a lot of things we thought would go right that didn't go right. And as such, combined with our personalities, there's a lot of behind the scenes content and also a fair amount of bloopers as well. And I thought I would structure this video so that it made a bit more sense, just to follow along with all the things that happen behind the scenes, and then at the end put the blooper section right in there. I also had a bit of a collaborative event because a friend of mine accidentally uploaded their short film on the same day and premiered it as well in their personal life on the same day. Complete coincidence. And so we decided to have a bit of a Barbenheimer type event, but instead of Barbenheimer we called it Works, for Irongulu being his channel and Waterworks being the name of my short film, obviously. But there's going to be a video of its own on that coming after this, so look out for that. But for now, just go check his short film out on his channel. It's a bit more of a light-hearted, shall we say, or a less realistic type of content, but it's still really enjoyable, and I had a great time filming my reaction to it for the first time when he also filmed his reaction to mine for the first time, and it was a really cool video. Just have to edit it together after this one, so look out for that. I also put out a Q&A into my community tab just so I could get a bit of a census of the questions people had, so I think that'll span long enough to do a short Q&A session in this behind the scenes video before we get right into the behind the scenes commentary and right at the end the bloopers. And I won't blame you if you skip to the end, to the bloopers, but don't. The one I think is the most apt to start with is pretty direct, and it is, what is the meaning of the title? So there are a few obvious interpretations of the title, one being it's called Waterworks, and water has a big part to play in the film, being associated with the boy's sort of dream of being brought back to, I think, what he considers like a comfortable place, you know, every night he dreams of that place, but also being like the harbinger of terrible things in the film itself and outside of the film that affects the story, like how his friend died. Also when the brother is giving this monologue, which is quite, you know, heavy-handed and very almost aggressive and manipulative in a way, you know, it's like they're both holding these like cups of boiling water, tea. But also I think the main reason I came up with it actually was inspiration from Better Call Saul, because the penultimate episode to the series is called Waterworks, and I really like their use of water in that episode, being the only time rain appears in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. A little bit of a spoiler, but I'm sure you'll forgive me for that one. Obviously the Waterworks word itself just means like crying, like breaking down, crying, or maybe not necessarily breaking down, but that's what I saw it as, because there's also a breakdown scene in that Waterworks episode of Better Call Saul, which is quite different to the breakdown scene that we did, but it's the same idea of like, I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase like, you know, what's with all the waterworks? It's just a pseudonym, I guess, for crying. So yeah, those are a few interpretations of what Waterworks as a title means. Aaron Mika, who also helped work on the short film, says, what is the funniest scene? 10 out of 10 comedy. So just to take this question a little bit more seriously than it was handed out to be, there were a surprising amount of laughing breaks in scenes that were supposed to be super, super serious, you know. I think it's something about like almost the tension building up of the cameraman being there, behind the scenes workers being there, everyone trying not to like take themselves too seriously, but at the same time give a good performance, that there's this undertone of just like hilarity with the fact that we're pretending to take ourselves seriously enough to act these very serious scenes. The scenes I noticed us laughing in the most was whenever me and Luca were in close proximity, basically. Whether that was the actual scene where it was me and him interacting, or whether it was me as the cameraman in the car. Those two scenes in particular, there were more laughing breaks in those than there were anywhere else. More so in the breakdown scene in the car, for all the reasons I mentioned. It just kind of breaks out into hilarity, even though the final product is something very, very serious. Aaron. The final question from Renki is, which scene was the hardest to get right / act? And also, what do the fucking rocks mean? So to answer the first part, seeing as it kind of connects with Aaron Mika's question a bit, the hardest to get right, if you exclude the camera battery dying, if you include the camera battery dying and fucking up the camera a lot, definitely the last scene at Smith's. That shit was ridiculous. It just wouldn't turn on because the camera battery was going low, and it was just, yeah, it was very difficult to deal with, but it wasn't the scene itself that made it difficult. I think the scene would have actually been probably some of the easiest to film. You just set up the camera, do a couple shots of him walking over rocks and standing looking out the ocean, and then you call it a day, you know? But I think the most difficult scene to get right was probably the monologue with the brother, because we had to get pretty creative with how we were going to do the moving shot, because obviously we didn't have a steady cam. Ahmad came up with a really creative solution to that, but you'll see that. I always complain about how broken this mic stand is, and then I do shit like that. But you'll see that in the behind the scenes itself coming just now. As for what the fucking rocks mean, so basically the literal meaning of them is just that the kid's walking down the mountain, picking up the rocks, I believe with the full intention to kill himself, right? To drown himself, to walk down and walk into the ocean, drown himself. It's whether when he gets to the bottom and has that long look at the ocean, and that his anger changes to content, whether that's him coming to terms with wanting to kill himself, or it's whether him changing his mind and deciding to carry on with his life and scatter the ashes and go home. Some other people came up with pretty creative interpretations as well, that he was picking them up with the intention to build a burial for Scott, the kid who died. And I like any and all different interpretations of the film. Even though I created it, ultimately art is made somewhere in between the intention and the person who interprets that intention. I don't think it's any less correct per se, as long as there's sort of a backing to what people come up with, then I think it's really cool. So long and short of it is kind of up to you, but those are my interpretations and some other people's interpretations, but I don't want to spell out everything for you, and I definitely am never going to give a hard answer for what the kid actually did at the end, just because I don't know. I sort of changed my mind a lot as the creator of the film and the story. So now that that's it for the Q&A segment, we're going to move on to the behind the scenes commentary. Now, seeing as the behind the scenes footage is quite a hefty length, like I said, I'm going to kind of guide you through it and play the relevant segments from the actual behind the scenes footage as I go. So we filmed a bit out of order. Day 1 of filming started with scene 2, which was at my house. Yes, the house that was recently sold, and it's nice to see this much footage of it. The first person to arrive on set, other than me waking up on the set, was Aaron Mika Harding, who is our main camera operator / provider, as well as the voice for the mother in scene 1. Because I was acting in this scene, I made myself look particularly rugged by not showering that morning and getting very little sleep from the night before because of the bartending job I have. But I knew that because of this tiredness, there was a pretty low chance I was going to be able to direct the scene clearly and effectively, so I decided to bring in the person I trust most other than myself with creative film endeavors, particularly directing, and that's Ahmad Johadi. Say that again.
So I really sunk my teeth into the scene. Here we've got some questions. And
guest director. Wow, this is why I chose you.
Yeah, exactly.
This is guest director Ahmad Johadin.
So what I see in the scene is there are actually two conversations happening. There's a silent conversation and there's the out loud conversation. The silent conversation is happening with the objects in the scene, right? So for instance, the tea. During this conversation, the boy is getting is simmering like the tea. Right? Because at the end of it, then in the next scene he explodes, right?
He explodes.
Well, he doesn't explode.
I was like, I don't remember. I don't remember. Right. Yes, yeah, true.
So the way that I see it, when he blows on the tea, he's actually blowing on himself. He's blowing off steam.
He's blowing himself.
Literally.
Okay.
I want to put some focus on the tea.
On the tea?
A bit of focus on the tea.
Okay.
And the second thing is the box, because the second part of the silent...
Did anyone bring a box? Oh, fuck. It's fine, I have something.
That'll be a box.
Come on. It's such a perfect box as well. I've got a little fly fishing reel box and it's little wooden.
Oh my god, why'd you bring it back to fishing? God damn it.
No, it's fishing.
Fishing.
It's fishing in the sucks.
Don't get her started.
The brother is trying to get something from the boy, unnamed boy, right?
Yes.
He's trying to pry, and it's kind of like uncomfortable, right? So when I want that to be visually represented by the way that he's touching the box. He's sort of molesting the box.
Who?
Right?
The boy?
No, the brother.
The brother. Okay.
Right? Like he's kind of weirdly holding it.
Right.
And then when the boy like takes the box away, it's like, no, this is me. Like, don't fucking stop touching me.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
And then the other part of it is I want the camera to be different on either both of the characters. When it's on the brother, like a sort of slow zoom in would be cool because it's like he's trying to get in there. And even
What you mean while the brother's giving his?
Yeah, while he's as he carries on speaking,
I agree.
slowly in there. I think the one on the boy should be a bit of a wider shot, just static.
Mika also brought in some extra equipment that helped a lot to set the correct lighting mood of the film. Not before we had a bit of fun with it though.
Like Anna de Armas, like from Blade Runner.
What?
She's like, this is scene.
Anna de Armas.
She's like, and she's advertising like I don't know, like something, and then she's like holding like a yellow light like this in the behind the scenes, and she's like dancing with it.
I don't think that's right.
She like does like a little dancing, like the back of her skirt comes out. So
Now, throughout these behind the scenes, you may see some contention as to who was the best at relaying their thoughts in pen on paper, but here's a taste of Ahmad's expertise.
Yeah, we can't be swapping how things work. Yeah. Guest director.
And his art. Scene 1. What's that?
That's the wide shot of them.
Oh, I see it. Okay, it's abstract art at this point. What's that?
That is. Let me think again. That's a close up on you.
Okay. What's that?
That's him blowing on the tea. That's a wide shot of him holding the tea.
It's director Ahmad Johadin, everybody. And Aaron.
To achieve the slow zoom effect during Scott's older brother's monologue with a very limited budget, guest director Ahmad came up with a pretty creative solution.
So we got Ahmad going under the table, and then we got the towel over there, which is going to pull the tripod that Mika is controlling towards me as I give my chicanery round.
As it turns out, he had a lot of pretty creative solutions.
We got a good boom mic system going. The creatively drained.
See, they just
How are you feeling?
they couldn't handle the dual conversations that were happening in the scene. There was the silent conversation,
Right.
and there was the conversation that was happening out loud.
It's almost like he wrote the story.
I'm getting a partial writing credit, right?
why do you have this like 0.5? It's like 0.5 so funny.
I know, that's so we can't take it seriously.
I don't know how to work this tripod.
Jordan. Sorry. It could be Peel or Peterson. It's up to you.
Next up, I have Mika to introduce the behind the scenes of the interior car scene.
Hi. I'm recording.
Scott in his house.
Why are you doing it like this? Make it so uncomfortable. Rushing me with the camera like this. Okay. I think you're in the shot.
Overall, that scene's filming was pretty short and went pretty quickly. Luckily, most things were done on the first or second take. We managed to fit in filming scene 1 on day 1 as well, after a little drive to the house of the star of the film, Luca Smith. By this point in the day, we were mostly really drained. I was running on like 4 hours of sleep, Mika had a migraine, and Luca was pretty much nodding off in his own bed as some sneaky method acting.
I think we're just gonna end up watching Luca go to sleep now. Okay.
You guys can actually wake me up.
We're gonna pour some lime
that's
juice into his eyes.
Like really make him miserable.
Yeah, he's too comfortable right now. Speaking of miserable.
We wanted to really bring the pain out of Luca's opening performance, so we decided to physically and visually enhance his swollen red eyes by dropping some lemon water into them.
Oh my god.
I didn't expect
real pain.
I was just wondering.
God damn.
I really respect what you're putting into the role.
With day 1 done and dusted, we had about a week between shoots to recuperate and prepare for day 2, which would be a day trip out to a coastal bay about 1 or 2 hours out of Cape Town. We stopped off because people were driving insufferably slowly, and it's a beautiful view. Unfortunately, all the clouds are over there, so
It's too beautiful for this film.
it's too beautiful. I feel pretty closely linked to this place, so it's always a pleasure to have an excuse to visit.
We've arrived. Luca's not here. We have arrived. It's a beautiful day, unfortunately, so we'll do what we
It's
can.
getting worse though. I think it's getting worse.
I hope so. Anyway.
That could be a sick climb.
He's actually going up the mountain. Oh my god.
Fun fact, with how exceptionally late Luca was, Ahmed and I filmed an entire other video.
Okay, this is it. This is for all the marbles. I can't tell you what to do. You.
For all the marbles, hell yeah. It was an installment of a series on my channel, Misplaced, if you want to check that out.
So this is Ahmad's guest director's Ahmad's drawings from day 1 of shooting.
You know,
This is
stylistic.
okay. So I started a bit rough, got a little better, I'd say, and then bam! Look at this, man. This is art. This is art.
This is
art.
okay. No, but this is stylistic. This is just derivative.
Okay. We're realizing that I left the box at Luca's house with the expectation of Luca to bring it here because he's going to bring his clothes and everything. We don't have to bring anything. Now we're thinking, did he remember to bring the box? Probably not. We can only do the scenes that are inside the car, and then we'll just have to come back here for a 3rd day of filming. This is all under the expectation that he didn't remember it. There's a slight chance, a slight smidgen of hope that he did. So we'll have to see what happens. So we're gonna. Okay, check this out. So we got the boy coming in the car, and then we got the sort of shot behind him. This is while he's driving. There's sort of close-up shot of his face while he's driving, very tense, hand tense on the wheel, and then he pulls into the parking lot. Amazing sketch. And sort of keeping
Wait until
keeping
the
it
rest of the
shut up.
sketches come.
keeping it out of focus until he arrives in focus. And for the breakdown scene, we shift between the this angle and this angle. So we got up here, it says the opens his car, seemingly calm, he's wearing the black, and the boy walks towards the camera. That's what's happening down here. So he's this is the side door of the car he's got to open, and then he closes it, and then he walks towards camera. And then there he is going out of focus. There's the car in the background. Then this is when he's coming down the mountain pathway and he needs to pick up a rock. We might do 2 shots of that. There's the rock, there's the mountain pathway, shut up. And there's the bushes and shrubbery and stuff. And
Yeah.
he comes up.
How do you feel now after making so much fun of my sketches?
So he comes up and he grabs the rock. And then it's the same shot as this, but without the rock. It's just he's very quickly grabbing the rock. He's moving quite fast. And then this is the shot. This is shoe lands in frame. Let me draw the background real quick, because otherwise, we won't know what's happening. And then he's holding the box, from his left hand side. It looks so much like the rock. And then we got the reason I made the short film, which is I just wanted to have
The reason he made the short film is this.
It's for a cool contemplative wide shot, and we've sort of got the horizon below his neck, so it looks like he's already foreshadowing of drowning. We don't know if that's the canonical ending or if he just decides to scatter the ashes and go home and get on with his life. Who knows? That's the ambiguous ending. For those of you who couldn't figure that out, there you go. I just told you. And then we've got this sort of side shot of the face, sort of changing from his anger to a sort of calm. You can't see that in this drawing, but that's the idea. We hope Luca can interpret it. And then the last shot is the shoreline from the left-hand side with the showing that he's holding the box, and then he just walks straight off of frame. We keep it sort of out of focus, the background, and then credits roll over the end of the film. That's the idea. He probably didn't bring the box, so we probably can't film most of that. Is that him? No, that's not him. Is that him? That's also not him. I'm not including this. I'm definitely not including this.
Okay.
After Luca finally arrived, he brought the box, thank God.
He brought chips.
He got the box. He has the box.
He brought the box. Show me.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Whoa!
We could get on to work on the car scenes. And despite the fact that Ahmed took the role of behind-the-scenes recorder, I still treated him with the utmost respect.
Look, I'm being abused right now by the director.
You've done such a great job so far, but I really, really appreciate your work.
It's
Turn
fine.
over quick. fucking pig.
After leaving Ahmad behind to do the close-up driving shots of Luca,
Stuart is making me wear his jacket.
Literally.
He's like, he's yeah, okay, they're leaving. Goodbye.
This is gonna be the soundtrack to the shot. It's actually not bad.
It's sick, yeah.
This works.
Yeah, I was thinking it's either this or it's like drum and bass.
Sorry, what were you saying?
What? Sorry, what are you saying? Sorry, what was that? What was that?
What was that?
Sorry, what was that?
Can't quite hear you.
Sorry, what?
he had some pretty interesting ways of entertaining himself.
It's really amateur hour in this production I've been in. It's crazy that they have my talent and they're not using it. Okay, fam, check this out. Okay, look at this leaf. You see it's green? Oh, I turned it white. It's white now. Oh, look at that. Did you see that happen? Look at this. Oh, they just passed. Anyway, but did you see this? So while I've got you to myself, I gotta show you the sack. Look at the sack. What happened here? Genoa? Check this out. Oh, this is more resistant than I thought it would be. Okay, we're getting a wide shot. Oh, yes!
Finally, we could begin filming one of the most vital scenes in the film. The boys' breakdown in the car, starting with the drive up to the camera scene.
Let's get the behind the scenes for this crazy shot. Oh, here he comes. Tension on the scene, on the side. Nice approach. Good approach. He's coming. He's coming. Hand signals from the director. Beautiful.
Without our delicate camera operator, Mika, who couldn't make the second day of filming, the wear and tear on the film gear started becoming a bit evident.
Show me that.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. The equipment is breaking apart. We're facing adversity, but still will prevail.
The final portion of this car scene involved the boy walking menacingly towards the camera, a very mobile shot that we had to try a few times.
So this is what's gonna happen. That's you coming out of the car door. That's you with the car door closed. And this is you approaching it. And that's the car door in the background, right? I'm gonna... It's fucking 5 seconds! Okay? Yeah. About this distance from you. Once you start walking, I'm gonna follow you like this. Yeah. Don't be shocked when I stop walking. Yeah. You just keep going.
Keep in mind the inspiration shot for this has the character being really angry and determined. How did that look? How did that look? How did that look? How did that look?
Turns out the best shot was the second one out of God knows how many.
That's good.
Gotta get a few.
Yeah,
get a few
to know
shots
how good it is. Yeah. This is method acting, people. That was so good.
Big balls.
The ghost of Pierre.
Yeah, that's
What's his name? Pierre.
The ghost of Pierre.
Pierre.
What the hell?
Oh, his name's Scott. I really thought it was Pierre.
The ghost of Pierre.
The ghost of... I would never be phrases.
The new title of my short film is The Ghost of Pierre. Not bad.
Come on, yeah, come on, that's a good
It's
name.
just his name's not Pierre.
Yeah.
It's not even close. We had a little camera malfunction. And Ahmad wasn't recording it because he's a terrible behind-the-scenes guy.
Because I was trying to help the situation.
One job, it's not to help me, it's to fucking do the behind-the-scenes.
Oh my god, I could never do anything right.
So guys, it looks like we're going to finish the filming in 2 days, which is quite impressive because there's a lot of stuff to film. He's taking a piss. And we've got it done in 2 sessions, which I thought was going to be more because I thought he definitely wouldn't have brought the box, but he did.
I'm putting the exposure down so it looks gloomy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it does look like a pretty nice day. I think we'll only have the skyline in, which does have clouds, so we can just pray that it looks as gloomy as possible.
You can hear Luca pissing.
Now for the shots of the boy picking up the rocks, we needed to collect some fine rock specimens, and while I set up the camera, Luca and Ahmad set off to pick up rocks from the parking area.
So usually I leave just like the extras and the intros.
He's just such a good guy. Yeah, ooh, should we go for a nice, like a huge one? Like, you can get this with one hand. This is big. This is like, you're gonna drown yourself with this rock. At the end of this, you drown yourself. And since you're a method actor, you're gonna actually, that's what's gonna happen.
Also, we're using another rock to pop the camera up, so it's really focused on this rock right now. So Luca's gonna come by, he's gonna grab it and keep walking.
What would you need to do if I was to just like move the rock?
I might throw you down the mountain. There's a mountain
camera's
here.
on, of course. It's alright. We can get on the rock while the camera's off.
This is what I have to deal with, folks. Folks, this is
what
what I
happens
have
when
to
you-
deal with, folks. This is what I have to deal with, folks. It's too much. It's too much.
Too much. This is a very, very, very good short film. I have some
The
of my
best,
best.
the
The
best.
best. I have some of my. I have some of my greatest.
What do you
Russian-
think?
I have some of the greatest Russian computer.
I'm done. After all that, we made it to the beach to film the shot, which was the reason I decided to make this film in the first place.
We're at the beach. We made it. I feel like Pierre now.
Once again, my ingenuity shone through this project as I used the nearby seaweed to my advantage.
This is the ingenuity of Stuart, the creator and director.
surroundings.
And finally, I got the shot. After 2 days of filming, camera malfunctions, losing people and equipment, we wrapped filming.
That is a wrap, fellas. Nice. Let's go. See you for the refilm, guys. Guest director.
Guest director made it.
I'd like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank my family. Hey, whoa, no, okay. I'd like to thank Mika, who is not here today. Thank you for lending us your camera and helping out with the first half. I'd also like to thank Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould for making fucking Better Call Saul. Inspiration for this came from that, the Lalo scene, the Jimmy scene. Thank you especially to guest director Ahmad Johardin, who came in clutch for the first scene where I was acting my beautiful acting. Shout out to that camera who just died.
Died to make this film.
It died to make this film. And then of course, shout out to our star, Luca Smith, for his incredible performance. This camera's so high quality, we're gonna use this, honestly.
Yeah, I know,
this is
honestly.
ridiculously good, but...
The kingdom for a box. My kingdom
Okay.
for a box.
Taking the script out to the ocean. Once again, a little wet, I think, from the day we filmed it.
See what's on the script.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for a film as serious in tone as this one, there were a fair amount of bloopers. Thank you for watching my short film and this behind the scenes of it. Enjoy.
That's exactly the tone.
Do you think this is in character?
So for this, you're gonna
This
be
is like
more
such a
of
good
this.
railway.
Okay. This is so inconsistent.
No, but that's
people
the
won't
great
know.
thing. People don't know.
Yeah,
People have no idea. They're stupid and idiots as well.
It's gonna be just like the chicanery round as it slowly zooms in.
There's a YouTube channel I can recommend you that just points out trivial errors in really good films.
It was CinemaSins.
Not innocent. Ooh, fuck.
What?
That's what I said. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I think that would work really well in the scene. You're a fuck, man. That was a bit, yeah, that was a bit much. That was a bit much. It was like... Okay, now open them. What are the fucking chances? Action.
Honey, you gonna get up today? Listen, it would be good to get some.
Hand off the wheel first again. Okay, go for it.
Is that?
You did better the first time.
Okay.
It was like kind of goofy.
Just hit it hard. Just hit it hard. With your right hand. Just okay.
the issue
Give up with the ignition. Don't
Yeah.
hit the wheel and go
And then go back for the ignition.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
For continuity, like, should we take the radio out?
Yeah,
Is that fine?
that's fine.
No one will care.
Yeah, no, okay. What's happening?
Yeah, I was trying to earlier, but it didn't work. It's scary.
This is Some fucking people. We're so close. Look at him, he's crying.
I'm so sad. Go fishing.
He's fishing.
Fishing. He's on fishing.
Fishing.
Sorry.
That was fucking hilarious.
Garçon.
Comme des garçons.
Garçon.
Comme des garçons.
Comme des garçons. That's not how American people say it. It's
Comme des garçons.
comme the gas.
Oh my god, just start the fucking scene. Oh, fuck off.
Clap. 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 Hurry up. Clap. You gotta do a clap, my guy. Yeah, there? Okay, nice. Nice work.
They're edging me. The bourgeoisie have been hiding, jelking from us.
Fuck up!
I am really scared of because I have a really heavy dust.
Just go! Luca, we don't have time!
We don't care about your nutsack. Taiwan is not a country.
I got caught on camera. Perfect, go for it. Walk off the thing. Perfect.
Boom shakalaka.
Boom shaka. I just asked him to film the end, and he fucking forgot to film when I just finished it. Oh, but we haven't stopped recording.
We
Actually.
haven't stopped. Okay.
Okay, there we go. We're done. Okay, guys, we did it. Look at them. They're beautiful. I took a picture as that happened. Sorry, just one last thing. I just find it absolutely perfect that while I'm recording and then going straight into editing this, it is pouring with rain. I guess you could say there's some waterworks. God, Jesus.